turned it in, and I actually did not bring them back, but you can go off of your memory. We're gonna review the homework sheet. So if you have it, you can get it out. If you don't, it's not that big of a deal. I'll read it out loud.
Class.
Did you get my homework?
Yes, yes.
We did this last week, last.
Actually, this one would be hard.
I have something. I got.
I remember doing it last year, remember doing
I have
it
some
last
stuff for
week.
you.
Okay,
Try to check over. I don't want to try to run the game.
I remember doing it last week in class.
yeah, let's review,
Homework.
let's review the week before, the better safe than sorry, okay? So this is, we're gonna decide if the statement is a safe statement or a not so safe statement, okay?
Hey.
So, how about this one? Hey, morning Terry, hey, I like your shoes. Safe or sorry?
Safe.
Who says safe? We're
I
gonna vote.
say safe.
Who says sorry? You are correct, it's safe. It's being pleasant, saying good morning, and then complimenting them on their shoes.
You have to be
Right?
positive to say good
Okay.
morning.
Hey, nice shoes. Wow, you have sexy legs.
No, sorry.
Yes.
Sorry. I
Sorry.
said sorry.
Why? Why is that one sorry,
You can't
Julia?
Because it may be weird and it is not.
You can't say that.
Correct.
You can't say that.
It's inappropriate
You can't say that to everybody.
to tell a person at work that anything about them is sexy.
You
That's
can't say that,
inappropriate.
you can't say that at work or in class. You
Or be kicked out of your workplace.
can't say that in
Could
class.
get fired, Tim, you're right.
Or kicked
You
out.
say that in class
Yeah.
at work? No.
Alright, so don't forget we are recording, so we still need to try to only talk one at a time, so it's not confusing for the people that view it for the first time, okay? Safe or sorry, is this a picture of your girlfriend, Austin? What do you think? Safe or sorry? Julia?
Sorry.
Yes.
Okay, how come?
Probably not appropriate.
I'm.
Why?
Because it may be like a too personal question, maybe they just do not want to talk about it or something.
Okay, I like your answer. It might be too personal of a question.
But it might be. I'm probably in between about that one kind of.
That's a kind of in betweener.
Like,
You're
okay,
right,
well,
Jeff.
I'm gonna go with. Like, graduate them. So it's great graduation on your girlfriend.
Right, so it could be a safe one if you're kind of friends with the person, but when in doubt, try to be on the safe side,
Yeah.
so maybe that's not the best
Yeah.
question to
Yeah.
ask, right? Okay. How about this one, safe or sorry? Austin, do you and your girlfriend have sex?
Okay, FYI, no way.
Julia?
Sorry.
That's a bad, very wrong
That's
inappropriate
sorry.
question.
Exactly. Very good. Okay. How about this one, safe or sorry? Have you ever tried smoking pot?
Never, ever.
Wrong.
Mateo?
Wrong.
Inappropriate.
Inappropriate, very good, thank you. How about this one? Have you ever tried water skiing?
That's safe.
That's a safe one, absolutely. It's an interest of someone, they're either gonna say yes or no, right? Okay. How about this one? Do you like Mexican food?
Oh, safe.
Safe.
Safe, that's a good one, figuring out if you guys have common interests, maybe you wanna go to lunch together,
Safe.
right? Okay.
That's always safe.
How about this one? Does Mexican food give you gas?
Okay.
No. Sorry.
A little immature, right? That's
Yeah.
a
Sorry
sorry.
one.
Good one. How about this one? I hope you go to the picnic, Kate. I can't wait to see you in a bikini.
No.
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 Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. I got that right.
Sorry,
Now.
but still like fire.
Right. You could have stopped at, I hope you go to the picnic, Kate, right? That would have been safe.
Yeah.
Okay. How about, are you going to the company picnic on Saturday?
That's safe.
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 Hey Brian, how long have you worked here?
Safe.
Safe.
Safe, sure.
Safe.
Hey Brian, how much do they pay you here?
Oh my God.
That's probably
Sorry.
not the most public.
Why
yeah.
not, Seth?
It's kind of a bit real that you don't have to how much people might make.
Right. It's actually inappropriate to talk to someone at work about how much they make or don't make. Okay, do you know why? Julia?
Because it's private.
It is private.
And I know money's private.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a private conversation.
Right.
Actually, my husband just did his yearly reviews with his employees, the people that report to him. He works at Fifth Third Bank. And when he did his reviews, they also got, some got raises and some of them got bonuses,
Oh, cool.
which is very cool. But not everyone got the same amount or the same thing,
Right,
right?
right.
And so if they all sit around and talk about it, what do you think would happen?
You
If
get jealous and jealous.
Seth, answer, go ahead.
They can be jealous and
Right, they could, maybe I got a pretty good raise, but Seth got a really, really good raise, okay? But if I don't know that Seth's was that much more than mine, I'm happy with mine, right?
Hey, I might complain to the boss, hey, why does he get burned?
Right. So it causes issues at work. You should never, ever talk about how much you make, how much you don't make, how much
Never-
someone
you never
else
say that.
makes.
You never
It's
say
just
that.
not a good topic, kind of like when
Never,
Lou
ever, ever,
asked
ever.
earlier in the semester about talking about politics at work.
You know
Just
what?
one of those things that may not be a good
Never
idea,
say that.
right? Okay, so good answer. So money is money, and especially around the time that people get reviews and raises.
Yeah.
Some companies will, excuse me, do their reviews like they do everybody, so everyone gets them at the same time. And then some companies review
Right.
their employees as their anniversary date comes up.
Yeah.
On the day that they were hired, which they can be all over throughout the entire 12 months. So, and in particular, companies will have a little bit of a struggle if they do all of their reviews at one time, because then people are more prone to
Absolutely.
talk about it, because everyone's getting the same kind of information. May not be getting the same kind of raise or bonus if they happen to work at a place where you get bonuses, but it's a little bit more out
Yeah.
there, right?
Yeah.
Because everyone's getting it.
Yeah.
So anyway, money is not a good thing to talk. And actually, I think my husband told me that he told his employees that if he hears of them talking about it with other employees, that he will be having a meeting with them.
Oh.
Okay, so it's really frowned upon and not a good idea.
Probably a bad meeting.
Yes, I think you're right, Jared. I think it was gonna be a bad meeting. Okay, so you guys have done a great job about kind of identifying appropriate work conversation.
Yep.
Appropriate work contact and or no contact, right? How close you stand to somebody. Is
Yep.
it okay to pat someone on the back, shake their hand, all that stuff? You guys have done a great job about that. So today, excuse me, I gotta get a drink. I've got a little bit of a cold. Today,
You okay?
yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about how social media,
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
okay, can impact you on your job.
Wait, is Seth recording that?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm supposed to be Gary, that's my daughter's
So we need
record.
to stop it, so let me set a little timer.
I was just thinking.
So, what are some of the social media sites that you guys have? Steve, give me one.
Facebook?
Facebook, good. Tim, give me one. Twitter, all right.
Snapchat, Instagram.
Snapchat, Instagram. Michael?
Let's see. Like the,
Anybody else have one?
What's it like?
MySpace, okay.
I think it's something like
Yeah.
What else?
I guess LinkedIn.
LinkedIn,
that.
very good stuff.
I like YouTube.
YouTube, yeah. Alex?
Actually, Steve-O and Tim and Seth just said it on my answer.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're kind of hiding behind Garrett, not on purpose, but just from
Oh.
my line of view. Okay,
Is that
so there's a lot of them out there, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of social media sites, okay? But if you don't go on them while you're at work, how does it impact your employment?
What you post, who your friends with.
Yeah.
What you post can be important. Okay, why would that be important? Say I was on Facebook and I posted that I went to the lake yesterday. I can't say that I went to the lake?
You can't.
Depends when you do it.
Yeah,
It depends if you were sick. You say, oh, well, I'm sick when I depends if you're.
there you go.
There are many, many situations where people call in sick to work,
They really are.
but they actually did something fun that day, and then they forget that they're friends with their boss or a coworker, and they post pictures of going to the Cincinnati Reds game. Can they fire you for that?
Yes.
They could.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
can.
they could.
They can. Actually, they can. Okay, because you called in sick when you were not sick.
Wow.
Wow.
So you have to be careful. Michael.
Also, when you on Facebook, try and avoid when you say negative comments you because sometimes you don't want to make comments on you. When it's not good about you, it's like bad chatting back, then it's like fucking friends.
It's also not, especially for those of you guys that are starting to maybe look for a summer employment job, or you're gonna graduate, so you're looking for a long-term job. If your accounts are public, okay, it is not unusual at all for your employer to go searching for you to see what kind of a person you are. They're allowed to do that. So if I have Seth who applies for a job, and I have Tim who applies for a job, and I have Julia, and all three of them are applying for a cashier's job. Okay? And on Facebook, Julia basically has a couple friends and seems like she goes to school and goes to all of her classes. Tim, on the other hand, tends to go to a lot of parties
Oh,
and a
yeah.
lot of
Just call me party eater.
and a lot of basketball
Call
games,
me party eater.
and seems to always be running out of money.
Oh, true that.
Okay? And Seth doesn't have a Facebook page at all.
Uh-oh.
Who do you think I'm gonna hire?
The one who has a Facebook page.
I'm probably gonna hire Julia because she seems like she's a trustworthy kind of quiet young lady that's gonna come in and do her job.
Yeah.
Tim seems to party too much.
Yeah.
And
Just go
Seth
party.
doesn't have a Facebook page at all, which makes me worried why he doesn't. Does he not get along with
Yeah.
anyone? Does he not have any friends? Okay, so Seth doesn't have a page at all, so that's kind of unusual, right? Okay, so what you post on like Twitter and Facebook, especially if your accounts are public,
Yeah.
okay, and even if they're not, sometimes, as Michael said, someone's friends with a friend with a friend, you know, and so it's not unusual for someone to say, hey, you know, you go to University of Cincinnati, Lou, do you know Alex and Garrett, because they both applied for jobs here,
Uh-oh.
okay? So it's not unusual to ask other people, especially if you know that they might be in the same community, and University of Cincinnati is a community, it's a community of college students, right? Okay, so it's not unusual for them to look into those things. Now, a lot of people I know on Twitter, it's a little bit difficult to, you know, people use unusual names and stuff like that. So,
Yep.
so it's a little bit harder to find people sometimes, depending on what your name is. But better safe than sorry, right?
People hire Facebook too. They use a middle name, their last middle name is the last name, so nobody can find them.
That happens too. You're right. Some people have more than one
That
account.
happens.
Like they make the middle names and they don't want something nobody can search. If there's somebody who searches them, they won't show up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right,
Michael,
you're right, Seth.
did you have something to say, or were you stretching?
Well, I see that doing all this. I think when you open an account, that we go not you go open because sometimes someone can hack it, someone can
Yeah.
hack it because you working on social media, every other stuff you can hack your account.
Yeah.
Which it was unsafe, and you need to change your passwords, use emails, all that stuff.
I tell people, you know, in the end, it's kind of like talking about politics at work. It's kind of your choice. But if I'm working with someone and they're asking me advice about friending their boss on Facebook, what do you think I tell them?
So save it after work.
See?
What do you think I
Not talk about no work.
Not at all.
I suggest that you're not friends with your boss on Facebook.
No.
It's probably not a good practice,
Yeah.
okay? And you should be very selective about who you wanna be friends with as far as coworkers go.
Yeah.
Only because everything that you post on there, they get to see,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Do you really want your boss to see every single thing that you post on Facebook?
No.
Probably not.
Don't
Okay, even if they don't look at it and they don't necessarily read it all the time, it's just not something, you know,
No.
that's kind of your private life, right?
Yeah.
And it's not something that you really want your boss, there's nothing wrong with not being friends with your boss on Facebook. There's also that kind of boundary thing too, keeping your work and your private separate. So if you're not friends with them, it just kind of, I think, helps you keep that professional image when you're at work, right? Because we all, you know, have fun on Facebook and like to put things on there that are silly sometimes and stuff. And if you think about it, that information is really for your friends, right?
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
necessarily
Yeah.
for your boss or your supervisor or your job coach or anything like that, okay? But some people get really excited about, you know, being friends with everyone that they meet on Facebook, and I suggest that that's probably not your best bet. Because you wanna maintain that professional image, okay? Kind of the same thing about Twitter,
Yeah.
okay, and Vine, and all of those kinds of things. Keep your work and your private life separate.
Right.
Is usually a good rule of thumb, okay? Now, and we talked before about how long I worked at the university up in Chicago, over 20 years. Am I friends with some of those people on Facebook? Yes, because we're actually friends outside of work.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's, and I worked there for 20 some odd years, that's a
Right.
little bit different,
Wow.
okay? And some of them, I haven't been friends with on Facebook for that long, actually, some of them, once I left, then I felt more comfortable being friends with them
Right.
on Facebook, cause they're not coworkers
Right.
anymore, right? Cause I
Right.
don't work there. Okay, so you need to be careful, again, keep it professional, keep those relationships separate. Yes, on occasion, you may become very good friends with someone that you work with,
Right.
okay? Still, that relationship is outside of work, right? And you need
Right.
to keep it separate.
Right.
And when you're at work, you need to be professional, and you need to have your professional face on and exhibit professional behavior.
Right.
Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Seth, you wanna stop that, and then we'll start